regarding managing relationship in the workspace. Anybody? I want to believe that you can hear me. Okay, someone said my take home last week was that we should not share too much information about our personal life. Thank you very much. Uh, this is very important. I was at a career and business session on Saturday to speak, and I shared with them some of the steps that I shared with us last week. How it is important that for you to navigate relationship in the workspace, it is very important that you do not share too much information with your colleagues, with your co-workers, with your direct boss or superiors, depending on the level of relationship. Don't tell people how you go home. Don't tell people where you stay, particular, or except when necessary. Don't say, "Oh, I live with two people. My bed is blue. I sleep on the up bunk," and all of that. You don't need to share all of that. You don't need to share all of that. Thank you very much, Praise Omotosho. I'm very happy that you remember. And the fact that you remember would also mean that you've been taking some of these points into action, because that's the idea of this class, that what you learned, put into action. Any other person would like to share what they learned from last week, one of the points that was mentioned? Any other person? 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 Okay. Somebody said, my take was that it is important to jot everything down and keep records and proof. Use emails and confirm anything someone above you has asked you to do, which might potentially put you in trouble. A summary of what Chukwuchebanya has said is one of the points that we mentioned. Document every single thing. Now, document what you're discussing with your direct report. Document what you're discussing with your boss or your superior or your HOD or your, depending on the English or the professional language you're using in the office. Document every single thing. Ensure that the evidence that you have is concrete. If one of our speakers would like to share experience with a wonderful experience with a co-worker or a superior, someone who tried to, clear or delete any form of evidence in order to implicate her. I hope when she joins the call, she would share her story so that you guys can understand the importance and impact of documenting information. Insikak said, I learned that we should not assume but double check everything to ensure clarity and prevent mistakes. Assumption is a killer in the workspace. Assumption has the ability to terminate or bring damaging results to you and anyone working with you. Don't assume, oh, I thought you said, nah, don't do that. Always double check. Ask questions. Sir, hey, are you sure you, so for example, somebody reports to you and you give them a task. Dele, please write this report. Ensure this and this is done. Ensure you include this, include that in this report. Please do not leave any stone unturned. and the person says, okay, I hear you, blah, 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 I'm good. It is important that you yourself will ask, are you sure you understand all I have said? Are you sure you understand all I have said? And the person will say, oh, yes, I have, blah, blah, blah. Is it even possible that you tell him or her, repeat what I've said and explain to me what you understand by this brief that I have given to you? Always clarify. Don't just assume that this is what I think the person is saying. Also, Chukwujibani says, you also said to contribute in meetings, learn ahead of time about the topic which is to be discussed, and make intelligent contribution. Don't always be the one that would take the feedback that you are doing dirty job or you are not doing good work. Don't be the one that takes the blame in the meeting. You know this. I don't know if it happens to you, but there are times when you are in a setting, you're in a meeting, and if something is going wrong, because of you, in quotes, love the department so much or you love the work, you don't mind them putting the blame on you and not pointing fingers at others. Does it happen to anybody on this call? That in the workplace, you don't mind carrying the blame because you just want things to be done. You be like, okay, it's your fault. Oh yeah, yes, oh yeah, let's go ahead. It does it happen to anybody? It's okay. You don't mind being the one blamed for something going wrong, as long as it will just stop. Aha, somebody say yes, sir. It's a self-sabotage syndrome. And some is the I see it as the toxic part of being a loving or an emotional team player. Mean that you love your team so much that you do not mind taking the blame for the team in order for us to go. And I'll tell you a quick story. When I was living where I was working, I think it was the last week or the second to the last week. And a colleague, so they were supposed to make a post. I think it was a Democracy Day post or something like that. Someone says, I don't take the blame, but I like to see things getting done. So sometimes do the work myself. Yes, sometimes you overbear. It was a democracy post, I want to believe, but a statutory post that should have been done. So on a Saturday, the HOD had asked, because I was leaving, she didn't bother asking me questions again regarding work in order for the handover to be smooth. Then she asked, where's this material and blah, 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 blah. Because I like work, I see ask the designer, how far, where is this thing? Why have you guys not done it? And the designer said, they did not tell me, I did not know. Like, do you have to wait? Said the copywriter didn't give me what to write and blah, blah, blah. The Shah sent it. A colleague of mine said, Olumide, please, can you tell the HOD that you're the one that forget? You know you're already going. So she'll not be angry at you. Just say you're the one that forget. That's why the material was not done. There and there, I just saw the wonders, the wonder of humanity. How they can tell Jesus to die for them, promising to be a follower, and then when he does, he'll be like, I want to live my life. It was just amazing how the person was like, take the blame for us now. Should we already going? And I said, no, I will not do that. You misbehave, you messed up. I will not take the blame for you. And I was just amazed the boldness and the audacity that colleague of mine would say that I should take the blame for a work that she did not do. That's humanity for you. So please, you don't have to take the blame of the team on your head. You are not the Jesus of your department. We have only one Jesus. And he has died for our sins. He didn't die for your KPI. Nor did he die for a task to be done. He died for the salvation of your soul. Don't be the Jesus of your, don't die for your department. Let me put it like that. But do what needs to be done. And let everyone be accountable to what they have been assigned to do. So it's important that even in meetings and all of that, when the boss is saying, won't you people talk? Is nobody going to talk? And you feel remorseful that the boss is getting frustrated, nobody's giving feedback. You don't know what to say, you just want to say something. And you know if you say something, your guy will channel the anger to you and then end the meeting. And you're like, oh, let me be the sacrificial lamb. No. don't be in the workplace. No, it does not make you look good. You just look like a work mat that everyone can step on when there's trouble. If somebody cooks beans, somebody does something bad, try your best before escalating to resolve the issue. And when fingers need to be pointed out, let it be clear that it's the person. You don't have to say, oh, it's the one. Just stay clear and say and do what you can do. But please don't be the sacrificial lamb in the workspace. When meetings are held, if you don't have anything to say, if you don't know what to say, intelligently decline. Eh, oh, what is going on? Blah, 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 blah. Sometimes your bosses or the people around you will ask you questions knowing that you don't know a lot about it, but they want to use you as a scapegoat. Intelligently say, sir, thank you so much for that question. I believe that it's a very good question. And for us to be able to answer this question that you asked, it will take us to the promised land. Let me use that kind of word. However, I have not read enough, and I would not want to share information that is not concrete or solid enough that will help this unit, this department to move forward. Please give me time to soak or read more information about this so that I can give him a well structured or informed decision. If the person say no, 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 just tell me what's on your mind. Like, sir, that's what's on my mind. I pride myself in not ensuring that I just say what needs to be said, but say quality work. I know. Just say. Let's think. Okay, sir. Can you circle back to me? I will think through something and then let you know. You see, protect yourself first. When you are able to protect yourself, you will know how to protect others well in a way where it will not be detrimental to your job. Someone says, somebody says, I don't take the blame and like things to see getting things done. Yes, 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 yes. One more person, and then we hand over to our speaker. One more person would like to share what I said last week. One more person would like to speak to what I shared last week regarding office politics and managing relationship in the workspace. Mr. Abel will take us through a short. He was supposed to do that last week. Yeah, he didn't finish, so we continue. And then when it's done, we have Mrs. Adelanke on the call already, and then we're going to have an interactive session. And they'll be able to answer all your questions regarding maybe requesting for increments in your salary, navigating promotions, working with that difficult colleague that, I was talking to somebody on Sunday and he was telling me how he's working with somebody who does not care about the company, but he or she is just concerned about their own paycheck and likes to be seen and manipulating things. And it can be very frustrating because he is very future minded and likes to do things for the benefit of the company as well as himself. Yes, Precious said, share less information to maintain professionalism. It is very, very, very important. There's times when people ask and ask and ask, how's your family? How is this? Tell them what they need to know. They don't need to know everything. Someone said, I think Chukwuchebai, thank you, Precious. Chukwuchebai also said, I think he also said something about making sure that you are liked by your direct manager or supervisor. Just be on their good side. Yes, it's important that the person you are reporting to you has a positive mindset about you. So while I was speaking in the seminar, the business and career seminar I spoke on Saturday, I shared some of these strategies with them. And the lady asked me, what if the person you're working with is tribal, is a tribalistic person, does not like you and all? One of the strategies to use when working with someone like that, find their interest, is something that they love. It could be politics, it could be family, it could be football, it could be movies. Whatever they like, find it by studying them. That's upward relationship. Find it by studying that person. What does this person like? There are people they like people doing the job. Just do good work. So that kind of person is the kind of person that when you resume in the office space, you ask them, today, what is that one thing you want me to do for you today? What's that one thing that you want me to do that I'll be able to tick the box and say, yes, I've done work for my boss? So find the person's interest, find what the person likes, and do it well enough. Don't do it in isolation. You just do it because it is important for your career growth. That person is the individual that God will use to favor you because they will give you direct feedback. Someone said you spoke about being confident at work. Yes, being confident and competent and be assertive. Let people know that you know your onions. You know what you are doing. There are a lot of people that can bamboozle you. They will shout, no, this, blah, blah. Be confident and be assertive. One thing I can tell you for sure, if you know what you are saying and you are confident in saying it, people would know. They can't deny. They cannot deny. They cannot deny. It is too evident. It is too evident. It is too evident. Praise God. All right. On this note, thank you for everyone that's giving feedback. I'm happy that you gave this feedback. It is a confirmation that you're learning, you're taking note, and you're putting this to action. On this note, our second speaker is also on the call. Mr. Dilanke is already on the call. So on this note, I'll hand over to Mr. Abel to take us through a short session, after which we will now have the panel session with these two great HR professionals to answer our questions, even in business, because HR professionals also help consult for people in business. With a virtual club, can we welcome Mr. Abel Adedayo, Global Talent Specialist. Can I see your clapping in the chat section? Can I see your digital clap? Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Abel, over to you. You can unmute. If you want to share your screen, please let me know so that I can stop sharing mine.
All right, so good evening, Nigeria. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, any part of the world you're listening to us right now. Thank you for this privilege, sir. We do not take it for granted. Yeah, good to be here once more. Yes, I just want one or two persons. I don't know if you can just unmute. How do you feel this evening? How are you feeling? Please confirm if you can hear me.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
I just need one
If
or
you
two
want,
persons. You can raise your virtual hands. How are you feeling this evening? Okay, thank you. How are you feeling? Just two persons, and we move. Tell me, how do you feel this evening? You must talk. Yeah, I want you to talk. Yes, you're doing all right. I just need just two persons. I want to hear your voice. Your voice we ascertain. Yes, please. We need to move quickly. I also have another call to join later part of today. Oh yeah, speak.
Good evening,
Go
sir.
on. Yeah, evening. How do you feel?
Very fine.
Okay, that voice sounded a bit tired, kind of, but he just has to force the very fine out. All right. Okay. I need one more person. Then we kick the ball. I need a lady. No, I want a lady. Okay, yeah. If Oluwa, go on. How do you feel?
Good evening, sir. I feel very well.
But you're tired. Okay, good to hear your voice. Awesome. All right, guys, let's just stay jiggy for the next couple of minutes. Yeah. Okay. Okay, sir. Can I share my screen?
yes,
So,
you can, sir.
okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So, very brief, like extremely brief. Okay.
Please
Uh,
confirm you can share.
okay. Yes, sir. I don't know if my screen is up. Okay.
Yes, we can see your screen, sir.
Ooh, I don't know if it's moving. It's not.
We're on page 1.
But I can't move it. I don't know. I just want to confirm. Okay, okay. Good,
Yes,
good.
it's moving now.
All right. Quickly, I just want to talk. I know last week we were talking about some toxic bosses, and we're talking about not just toxic bosses alone, but office politics as well. So I think sometimes last year, I think the theme for International Men's Day last year was which was talks about mental health. And yes, I'm not a doctor, but however, I'm not at least I'm not here to speak about mental health, but I think it also has its own power play as far as relationship and productivity is concerned at workplace. So today, looking at workplace relationship and how to survive it, how to survive all of this toxicity, the challenges that comes, whereby you just like you go to bed and the next morning like you're like, oh, I'm tired, I don't feel like going to work. I like again, can this day just pass? You're just like, I need some bit of fresh air. I just want to just leave this environment. I just want to leave this glass house, even though with the ambience, everything looks, glamorous, the split AC. In fact, you even have somewhere to, place your head, but yet you're hot. You're feeling hot inside, and that's why this evening we're looking at how to combat all of these challenges, how to protect our own self as professionals, even as a businessman. Customers, some customers, they come, they buy your product, and, they don't pay weeks, months, and they just ghost you, and you're like, come on. It's affecting me. It's affecting you. You're not able to, kind of like deliver as at when due, and yet your demand keep increasing. So now, looking at toxicity, and we need to recognize some of the red flags. What are those things? What are those things that make you know that I don't think I'm needed here anymore. I don't think this place is cool anymore for me. I don't think this place is conducive anymore for me. It's not okay for my well-being. It's not okay. Sometimes as believers, there are some atmosphere you get to, you're like, oh, this atmosphere is it's somehow it doesn't, you just enter some places and all of a sudden like, your head begin to grow so big and it's swelling up and like, what? Where have I entered into? Some of these things are, they didn't just emanate. Looking at working at various, I think at least I've had to work with various startups in Nigeria and in Africa. I would say about 60 to 75% of these startups tends to produce more of most of this issue that we're talking about that people face in their workplace. You're not able to communicate well. Everything that is giving this kind of like a dangerous vibe, whereby you can't walk freely, you can't talk freely. There's this you feel caged. You feel like you can't, you're in a place where you can't express yourself, and so many things are troubling you, are affecting your productivity. You get to work on the deck, the line manager say, what have you done? Take this thing away from me. Flip the paper at you, throw it at you. Sometimes, almost getting to a point of confrontation. I don't know if that I don't know the brother that was on this call last week who was at the verge of that was confronted physically. I hope you're on this call because this might really, really help your mind. This might also help how to what to move ahead despite all of these challenges. And now, one thing is very, very vivid at the workplace: communication. You can't take communication away. If you're not able to communicate, then you might not be able to work. you might not be able to survive the workplace. You might not be able to survive as a business owner. There is always this, there's this, like I said, constant criticism. You wrote self-worth. Like you're being, whatever effort, whatsoever thing you're doing, it's been washed down. You're talked down of yourself, and you're like, what? You're trying to give your best. You're striving harder. You're trying to improve the traffic on your business page. You're trying to increase your customer database, but yet there's this kind of like, this self-worth of a thing limiting you, something that you're not able to just come out of it. And that's why we said passive aggressive comments undermine what? Your trust. The moment someone say things that that you don't like, your mood change. The moment they say things that just to talk you down, what have you done? Look at your presentation. It doesn't, the fonts are not aligning, the paragraphs. Look at the mail. Look at how you're writing an email. Look at the way you're talking to your customer. These are the things that so many persons have been there, right? That they experience, whereby your effort, no matter what you do, you don't get to sleep overnight. 2 a.m., you're still working. 3 a.m., you're still working, and you have to, resume 8 a.m. in the morning. How then do you want to be effective at what you do? Some of the things you also see is what lack of respect. You see a boss just come, you see, a manager just walking into the room and just come, he just, doesn't care about what you do. Maybe your water that you're drinking, he just grab the bottle of your water and put it straight in his mouth. Some person do it, some colleagues do that as well, whereby you just see, your colleague, maybe he or she, maybe snacking on something, and you didn't even have the right, that courtesy manner to ask or request that, please, can I have some? But instead, you choose to just go there, grab it, and pick it up. You just ignore the person's boundary, and the person is like, what? You are exceeding your boundaries. You're going beyond, the usual, and by so doing, you are, your self-value, your self-worth is declining. It's coming down gradually. You just walk and just say, hey, yes, you might be close to the person, you might have a relationship with the person. However, because you're in a workplace, and you don't want to breed what we call toxicity, whereby people are like, what's wrong with this? You don't know your left from your right. You just barge into any people's office. You don't even knock on their doors. You just pick things from people's table. You don't know boundaries. They are having their lunch, they are having their breakfast. You just grab your spoon and insert on it and start, these things. Yes, you might not see a lot of people, a lot of professionals don't see these things coming. Yes, I know in some organizations whereby they say, oh, we promote friendliness, we promote, you're free to do whatever. Yes, however, at the workplace, everything needs to be kept at optimum professional level, irrespective of where you find yourself. I know there are some organizations that they are quite traditional. I know of some organizations that it's a kind of a mix. They don't care. All they tell you that, oh, just get the job done. Yes. However, in the process of you getting the job done, you need to be able to respect one another, respecting your same level colleague, and what the upline and the downline as well. They need to be respect. The fact that you are a manager over someone does not give you the right to infringe on them the way you feel. Doesn't mean that, yes, you talk anyhow to your boss. Doesn't mean that you can just do the way you like. You need to be able to respect, set the boundaries. And because of all of these things, which are not in place, leads to what we call toxicity. And, the next person, you did that to me the other day, and I'm doing my own back. Gradually, you started breeding an unhealthy work environment. Then, there's this another thing. I think we experience this more in the sales organization, places whereby they're going for proposals, bids, and all. Unhealthy conflict. They start arguing, pursuing same clients. You want to get my client for me? You want to, we are selling same product, we are preaching same product, but can we do it in a professional manner? Can we not make it look toxic? Don't let it look like you're fighting yourself. You are entitled to your own to your own output. The other person is also entitled to his or her own output. Competitions are great, they are good, but it has to be what? Healthy. It has to be healthy. Any organization, any businesses that thrives on an healthy conflict, that business is bound to fail. Yes, you walk in the street of Lagos, you see virtually everybody is doing POS business. And you see people selling same things, doing the same thing. How are they going to? Everybody's seeing, whether you like it or not, every customer for every business will always be what? Different. The customer for person A might not be the same customer for person B. And as a business person, you will not go behind person A or person B to go and what? Speak to them or know them. Yes, you can tell them about what you do. It's not left for them. It's their choice. This happened, I think, maybe one of these they're into sales training and all of those things. I could remember when we were trying to settle this kind of dispute, whereby two sales business developer and I think they have a business development guy, and there's this sales guy also. The two of them are selling to the same person from the same company, and yet they get to find out, the other person got to find out that, oh, and the client was about to sign with A, and B was like, no, I told you about this product. So because of that, it became a serious issue. And how were we able to deal with that? We had to call them together. And what did we do? Like, oh, person A, you focus on this aspect of the industry. Person B, you focus on this side of the industry, so that there won't be clashes, there won't be issues. So any place that you find all of those things, that's how it's very, very rampant in the professional world. Oh, thank God my colleague is here. She is an HR practitioner, but our own forte is quite different from mine. But we're in the same industry. But we're able to pick a particular area that we're specialized on, even though we are more like generalists, as you might term us to be. We know what is happening here. We know, but we have this. When it comes to talent, it's me. That's what I do. That's what I live for. And the next thing I want to just let me quickly run is, what are the impacts of this toxic environment on your mental state, on your emotional state, on your physical health as well? You are drained. Last week I was talking about when I was working in an organization whereby my line manager was a gay. I could remember then my mom, every now and then, she kept praying, you will not last long there. And in my mind, yes, I might not enjoy the relationship, but I knew I need to learn some things. I need to grow. That organization was very, very, voluminous on learning. However, I have a very, very toxic boss who would never would never allow me to shine in anything I do. He will always want to take the glory for it. But it was not easy. I won't be able to eat. I will just come to the office, and I was just like, oh no, I want to learn. Let me just know this thing. Let me get mastery of this. Let me just, and as at that level, I was already exposed to recruitment, talent management outside of Africa. I know. So those were the things that fascinated me. However, I was down in terms of my in terms of my own self-worth. I was like, well, anything I do anyway, just take it. No problem. No problem. But that is not how we are supposed to live as professionals, as business owners. Irrespective of the learning, irrespective of the benefit that we derive from all of these things, we still need to watch over our own health, our own mental state. That's why the first thing I said here, your mental health increases your stress level and anxiety. Then there's higher risk of depression. You can,
I remember the lady that were both on the team. Every time they were always admitting her in the hospital. And me, I just kept kept wondering that let's not just different imaginations started erupting in my mind. So that I just want to be free from this boss. I just want to be free from him. Right? But my health, my emotional being, at some point I could no longer concentrate. I was feeling, colleagues, everyone will be smiling at themselves. They'll be, exchanging pleasantries. I just come. When I enter the office, my eyes are red already. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Just like that. And I just go sit on my desk. Only me alone. I won't talk to anybody. I can't, because there's so many things happening inside of me. How long do you think I was able to withstand all of these things? And that's why this platform is what is kind of like helping us to come out of all those kind of any other form of situation. That we need to come out of yourself. Don't be a victim of workplace emotional mental trauma. Don't be a victim of it. Your bosses might try to frustrate you, might say you're not doing well, you're not doing this. Please and please do the ones you can do. And leave, but ensure that what you have been able to dot all of the lines, that there is nothing that they can pinpoint, they can hold against you, that you are not productive. However, you need to take care of your mental health, your emotional well-being. Don't be isolated. Speak out. Speak to professionals. Speak to people around you. They can help you recover from toxic bosses. And these were the things thank God I was able to take those bold steps. I was able to talk to people around me. I was able to, immediately I just jump on LinkedIn. I started looking for who can I talk to, what can I do. Not until I found one of my mentors, who is currently not in the country, but he was always there for me. We call Abel Alpha. Have you been do this, do that? He keep checking up on me. So you cannot bottle up all of these things together. Yes, you might not be comfortable. You might not feel this, but express it, like discuss with someone, share. It helps you to recover. You're not able to sleep well. Then you're having pains all over you. Then it's another ways. How do you identify these toxic bosses? How do you identify them? There's one common trait that you find in them. There's this thing that the moment you see this person, the moment in their conduct, they cannot hide for long. They are narcissists. They are narcissists. And one peculiar thing about narcissist people is that they have this abnormal expression. You can never satisfy them. They are more like, they are more like extremists. You can never satisfy them. They will never pity you for once. They will never be, no matter the world, no matter the death, no matter how powerful, how beautiful, how how packaging, how you are able to present the whole thing. You can never satisfy them. Those are narcissist kind of people. You need to look for ways of how to avoid them. Then the controller, all this one. You know what we call them now? The domineering men and women. They like to dominate. It's good to dominate. Well, the Bible has told us that we should go and have dominion over everything. But, your dominion, dominating over conversation, whereby the decision or the opinion of other people does not count, does not matter. That's a domineering spirit. Whatever I say, that's what we do. Whatever I say, that's what we do. We have bosses like that. We have customers like that. You cannot change their mind. Whatever they say they want to do. In fact, the business, they will even be telling you that I can do this thing better than you. They want to dominate your business for you. They will tell you that you're not doing it well. That they have better ways of doing it. Will you allow them? And there are some persons that all they do in the workplace, they can gossip from morning to night. They will spread rumor. They've sacked him. They sacked him already. You don't know. He has resigned.
He has resigned. Yes, now that guy, he resigned. Who told you? And yet there are some people who say, that one. He said he has masters. He did not have any masters. So he's just an SSC holder. And he come. How do you know? And what do you think would happen to the person when he or she, listen or hears about all of these things that have been said about him or her? It leads to what? It makes, especially when you're in the same team, you're working on the same project, they start reacting, they start, giving us all manner of things, and before you know it, the office place, the workplace will just become a battleground. Guys, these are the things we need to watch out for. Then how then do you manage your toxic co-workers and your boss, your oga, my oga? That's what thing. You need to stay calm. You need to be calm. There are some people that they say, whatever happens to them in their place of work, I will not agree. Never. Over my dead body. No, calm down. Calm down. Stay calm. Your boss might not like your presentation. He might not like your performance. You might not like, yes, you're fuming inside. How then are you able to calm down? It is until when you are calm, you're able to communicate your pain. You're able to communicate that thing that you're not happy about. That's how you deal with there's some colleagues that they will never speak well about you. They will never speak well. All they could ever think of is how they're going to talk you down, how they're going to make sure that you do not get that promotion that we did promotion sometimes, I think sometimes last year. And about 2 to 3 departments, the manager said he has nobody to recommend for promotion. And as the HR team, we know those that are working, we know those that are productive. But the manager said he's not recommending anybody for promotion. And as HR, we have to step in, we have to see how to cool off the team members so that will not affect their job, even though we had to find another way of resolving the issue. Another thing is, everything you do at the workplace, everything you do, even as a business owner, it is not every conversation you will put on your WhatsApp. Everything you do is on my WhatsApp. It's on my WhatsApp. It's on my WhatsApp. It's on my WhatsApp. WhatsApp is not a proper tool for documentation, whether as a business owner or as a professional. You cannot keep documenting on WhatsApp. Upgrades happen. It can wipe off. It's either you save your documents or sensitive information in your cloud storage. There's Google Cloud Storage. There is, there's that of Outlook, Microsoft 365. Then you can save. You can buy storage to save some of these informations there. So keep record of what? Of your interaction, the date, timestamp. All of these things, they are very key. You know that this person, this way, I remember then when with this my manager, then everything, we're using HubSpot, and HubSpot has a time log and all of those things. You know what he did initially? He off all the time logs. The timestamp, it took away everything. It took them off from it. So what do I do then? I will screen grab, the pitch that I did. Maybe I'm pitching to a client, or then, on the laptop then has its own timer and date. So that's how I was able to document all of these things. Then I saved them. Because, yes, definitely, the MD was like, when we were doing appraisal, I was like, hey, but you've not been doing anything. You've not been doing this. You've not been doing that. But when the days of me to face the panel, I presented all of this evidence. I showed him. I said, sir, I have been working. This client, I poached this client. I brought in this client. I did this. These were the things I do. Imagine if I have no documentation of whatsoever of what I've been doing, then I'm just like, I'm just like useless. So that's why it's very important as professionals, even as business owners, have all these. If you don't have, get a lawyer to do contracts for you. If you cannot get a lawyer to do, there are AI that can do draft contracts. Yes. And you can notarize the document to make it more what?
Mr. Ariel, I'm not sure we can hear you again, sir. Please check your mic. It's showing that your mic is unmuted and your presentation is still showing, but we can hear you. Can everyone else please confirm if you can hear Mr. Ariel? Okay. I think network has thrown him out. He's going to try and join again. I want to believe we are getting good value. When Mr. Abel is done, I have another power speaking HR professional who is also on the call as well. Today is going to be a loaded session. When I mean loaded, quality of people that we have at the invoice are great people. So it's a loaded session. She's on the call already. Let me confirm that Mr. Abel is able to join so he can conclude. And then we have our special. Let's try and join. So while we're waiting for him to join, can you put in the chat section what you've learned so far? What have you learned? What have you learned? What have you learned? Quickly, if you like to unmute, just raise your hand. I will mute you and speak. It might take time for you to type it, so just unmute and speak. What have you learned so far? What have you learned so far? Just raise your hand. I will mute you and you will speak. Nobody has learned anything. Can I see your hands up? Okay, I see two people. Ladies first. Sister Precious, please go ahead, and Mr. Lakon can go. Sister Precious, you can speak now. Sister Precious, are you there? Okay, your mic is unmuted, but you are not speaking. Mr. Lakon, please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. I honor you, sir. So far, can you hear me, sir?
Loud and clear, sir.
All right. Yeah, so far it's been a very great session, particularly when it talks about how.
You can go ahead, sir. Sister Precious, just, I think, can leave and join back. Your network is not so strong.
Well, I guess our network is very poor.
Yes.
Yeah, so where he talked about how we can deal with, toxic people in our workspace, especially people who are narcissists, and also the controller too, trying to avoid them and make sure we protect our whole mental health, and at the same time try and build boundaries. And also our channel of communication should be well documented, but not just a WhatsApp kind of communication. Better we use mail or Google Cloud or Microsoft Outlook. So those are the more key things that and many more that I've been jotting so far, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir, for that feedback. Any other person? Any other person? While we're waiting for a speaker. Okay, Mr. Abel is back. He's back. So you'll be able to finish up, and then Mrs. Lanke would.
I'm very sorry for that. Nigeria just happened to me just in a in a flip of second. You know. All right. So like I was saying, I don't know if my screen is back up. So there are some persons that they are strategic planters. You don't know who they are, but I tell you, most of those guys, I don't know, is my screen up now? They are there
No.
they are like planters. The decision makers plant them there. They want to know who is who and who is not. So it's very important that you find allies that you can connect with, that you guys have same common goal. And that's why as believers, there's you should be able to discern, you should be able to know when to speak and when not to speak, and whom to speak to and whom not to speak to. It's very, very important at the workplace. Then I move quickly. It's not, my slide is not moving. So so all of these things are very, very important. Even with your colleagues, you don't know who some colleagues are just this he likes me, loves me. In fact, something happened in my office. There was someone that I felt like, oh, he has the backing of so many people with him. Those were the people that plotted him. Today is out of the system. So you need to be careful. Setting, I've spoken about this. You need to set boundaries. Protect your space, protect your time, your energy. You need to learn to say no. You need to learn to say no. You cannot please every of your colleagues. Oh, quickly help me to do this thing. And you have your own, tax. You have your KPI. You've not even gotten to 50% of the tax assigned to you, and you're already taking up another person's tax. Your line manager is coming after you. He's saying, I'm going for a project somewhere. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. Don't forget, you are also accountable to that same boss. Sometimes you need to learn how to say no respectfully. Decline unreasonable requests. This thing, it makes no sense. Like, oh, come and help me go to Mega Chicken and buy maize. I need some bowl of rice. I need some tea. Please come on. Is that what you have been assigned to do at the workplace? You need to understand all of these things. Then you need to limit contact. See, there's some people, they are just like, they're bad energy, they're bad vibe. You need to identify them and walk away from them. Stay away from them. They can affect your productivity. Your deliverables can be affected as well. Then what? I don't want to stress much on this boundary of a thing. So, probably before now, I was like, it looks like Pastor Olumide already saw my slide because he was saying so many things at the beginning of this call about assertiveness. Assertiveness. You need to be assertive. You need to be assertive at the workplace. See, I I don't know if I should say this. So my colleagues have said, my colleagues told me, they said I have absent away. Almost all of my managers, all of them used to run away. Eventually, that's just it's not that I chase them away, but I am a man of process, and I will never skip process. Yes, I might know you, but you will go through the process. If you beat my process, oh, well and good, you have the job. If you're able to perform well, right? So I would never, I would never sacrifice quantity over quality. You need to be assertive.
when delivering your job at your workplace, in your business place. You need to be aside, Oga, this item, this is what we're selling it. Okay. You don't have to speak rudely. You don't have to speak in a disrespectful manner, but you just need to know how to communicate your opinion or your mind at that time. Make it clear and respectful. Then you need to be careful with your aggression as well. I know what I am doing. I've been doing this for the past 15 years of my life. You can't just tell me what to do. Oh, calm down. Calm down. Cool it off. There are ways to communicate all of these things. Then your passive aggression, negative feeling, bad vibe. Everybody knew that you didn't sleep well. It's affecting the whole of everybody. Your eyes are swollen. Everybody's talking about you're just talking down about the manager, talking down about the business and all of those things. You don't have to do that. Then I'm trying to rush. Then build a strong support system. Your families, your friends, confide in them. Your professional, your mentor, confide in them. These are ways whereby you're able to deal with that toxic guy, that toxic woman, that man in your workplace, in your business that will not allow you to rest. Then therapy as well is good. That's professional guidance. They tell you these are how to handle, especially when you're at managerial level. There are ways, the way you handle situation at managerial level is different from when you are just at a middle level or just a senior level. Then your support groups, like I mentioned. Then always know when to walk away. Always know when to walk away. You know that, I've gotten to my limits. You have been pushed, like what I told that brother last week. Yeah, it's almost getting to a point whereby the boss is already slapping you or is about slapping you, insulting you, using words that are unethical, unprofessional towards you. Stay off. Stay off. You can take time off work. You can request for leave of absence or just, if you have the you like what I used to advise, I just say just resign. Your peace of mind is important. Don't allow one toxic boss to come and take life out of you, and nobody can even take life out of you. Create healthy relationship, empathy, respect, have positive communication. Be nice, be kind. Compliment people professionally, please. All right, thank you. Let me know what's on your mind. Thank you, sir.
Wow. Can we clap our hands? I just feel like we've gotten to the half part of the sweetness of this session. And the second part, we now have two colossal HR professionals talking to us and giving us the best industry advice to navigate our relationship in the workplace and also in business. Can we clap our hands? Thank you, Lekon. Thank you, Enoch. Can we give them feedback? Can we give feedback? Can we give feedback? Can we give feedback? Can we give feedback? Now, before we rush into or before we go into the next question and answer, I would like to also give room to our next speaker, Mrs. Adelanke. Speak to us for the next 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll be open to take questions. Because I know they are going to, let me just tell you for free, they would pay to give you some of this advice. Knowledge is not easily acquired. You have to spend something that you spend time to acquire it, you spend money to acquire it, you spend effort. You will spend something to acquire knowledge. You're spending data this night to acquire this. And there's some of this information they're going to give you that people pay to acquire this kind of information. Thank you very much. While we're still clapping our hands, can we welcome our next speaker as she speaks to us for the next 5-10 minutes before we open the floors for questions and practical advice on how to that situation that you're experiencing. Over to you, Ma. Welcome. God bless you.
I honor you. Good evening.
You're amazing.
Yeah, I honor you, sir. I honor everyone here. I honor all the 42 participants here. You're welcome. Thank you so much, sir, for this opportunity. God bless you. And well done to my colleague, my fellow colleague in this HR industry. Well done, sir. As I fondly call him, Kochi. All right. Everyone has spoken well. I just want to say a few things on office politics. Office politics exists and it is normal. Now, the difference between you and the other guy that sits across the table in the office is Christ. How you play the game. I tell people all the time that you are first a Christian. You're first a child of God before that profession that you have chosen. And so because you are first a child of God before the profession that you have chosen, whatever you're doing in all your dealings, Jesus must be seen. He must be seen. And that's why whenever I do onboarding for staff, their very first day at work, I tell them what you cannot finish, don't start it. Understand the culture of the company. Do they refer to each other on first name basis? Or they use titles such as Miss, Mr., or HOD, boss, whatever. Not that you now come and start using Miss or Mr. And then when trailer pass you puts middle, you now start calling yourself first name. Or you start calling people first name, not knowing that in the company they refer to each other with using titles. And then on your first day of work, you just by yourself with your hand create enemies for yourself. Because you would come up as a rude person and people in the office will be looking at, who is this person? Why is this one so rude? Especially if you now have Yorubas there. Apologies to the Yorubas. I'm proudly a Yoruba lady. They'll be like, oh my, you rude gone. Oh rude now. Sheshe day, first day at work. Right? So it's always very important, very, very important that you ask all these questions. Why? Because these are important things. These are important information that will help you to play this politics. It's a game. Either you like it or not, you must play it. If you don't, when you are playing a game, it's either you win or you lose. So if you are doing, I don't want to get fun with office politics. I don't want to, you will lose. And when you lose the game, you'll be out the door. Not only will you be out the door losing, maybe you've lost your source of income, you'll be out the door battered and beaten emotionally because your emotions will be messed up. So you need to know how to play the game. You need to know how to play the game. How can you play the game? I said the first one is lay a good foundation from the beginning. Let people know you for who you are. Adewumi is a hard worker. Adewumi is friendly. Adewumi is gentle. She likes to keep to herself. Let them know you for who you are. Number two, to play this office politics, you're not at work to make friends. You see all this gist of we are one, we are family members, there is love here. Forget that. Forget that thing. You are there to work. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you cannot have bestie and all of that. In the beginning, you cannot be out to make friends. Everybody's there to work. You met them there and you will leave them there. Because you need to strike a balance between your emotions and decisions. Some of us, we are so free-spirited. We have a very large heart. That's first week of work like this, you're already doing bestie. You've seen somebody that you live along the same area and you are going home together. Don't be too quick. You know why? Because you need to study the environment. You need to understand the cliques. God will not help you. The person that you are following home happens to be on the other side of the clique. You have indirectly opened up yourself to unnecessary enmity. Yeah, someone said PDP and APC, upgrade party and power party. Be neutral on your first day of work. Don't make any friends. Be cordial. Be yourself. Be respectful. And on your first day of work, again, this is still on laying foundation. Again, another thing that you can do is you try as much as possible to remain in the background. When you remain in the background, you'll be able to understand the game, and then you will know how to play it. You will understand the game and know how to play it. Not that on your first week at work like this, because you were not patient enough to understand the policy that is at play. You were not patient enough to understand the powers that be. You're not patient enough to know the different cliques. And your belief people are now after you. The people that you now need to go and join, they are in the what's the name of the other party that is not the ruling party?
PDP.
The what?
PDP.
I didn't get that.
Do you mean PDP, ma?
No, I mean, like, we have a ruling party, and what's the name of the second party? When the other party that is not ruling.
Opposition.
The opposition party, yes. And then you now happen to go and pitch your tent with opposition party. Now, don't get me wrong. Am I saying join cliques, join parties at work, and all of that? No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is because you are a newbie, you indirectly, if you're not very careful, if you're not very conscious of yourself, you will indirectly find yourself in a clique. Indirectly. All right. So now this is for people that are just entering the workspace, newly and all of that. Now we have some adults, like you are already odogus at your workplace and you are having issues with this politics. It's choking you. And you really don't know what to do. Now, it means that if you are having issues at work now based on office politics, it means that you are falling short of all of these things, or some of the things that I mentioned earlier. So, assuming now that you are falling short of all of those things, and you've been at work for like 2-3 years now, and the politics is crazy, what do? All of the things that Coach Abel and Pastor Olumide mentioned, I joined on the call when Pastor was talking about evidence. That's one thing that all my bosses, well, while Coach Abel's bosses are leaving him, running away, he didn't tell us the reason. My own reason why they don't always leave me is because I have evidence. You can never be the one to talk last. We're going to drag it until the higher authority says it's okay. Until the higher authority says it's okay. I have evidence. WhatsApp is not, we keep saying this thing, HRs keep drumming this thing into the ears of employees, but employees, some of them have coconut head. WhatsApp is not a professional platform. It's not. As a matter of fact, I don't even, if you are here and you have your colleagues viewing your WhatsApp status, go and block them. Go and block them. Except maybe some of you already transitioned into besties. You have transitioned into best friends. But be very, very careful that they are really real. You don't want to mix office.
Ma, if you're still speaking, we can't hear you. We just hope that PSN has not blocked you from using.
No, I'm sorry. My
All right.
laptop went off. Low battery. I just have to plug it back. Yeah. I'm sorry about that. I was saying that you don't see, go and block all of them on your WhatsApp status. Because sometimes in this game of politics, it is the information that you give them that they will use against you. Especially if you belong to the WhatsApp group, my WhatsApp group where we post a lot. And then they will now start saying all sorts because they are privy to your WhatsApp status. You cannot want to play the politics in the office right now, and people have an inkling of your personal life. All right. So I've mentioned some points now that you are, of course, you are above the entry level employee. You are now probably a junior level employee or a mid-level manager, senior level manager, and all of that. And you find yourself in this game, and the game is really dirty. What you can do now is to re-announce yourself. All right, re-announce yourself, set boundaries, let people understand who you are, what you stand for. Try as much as you can to avoid confrontational conversations. At all costs, avoid gossips. Because one of the things that gets really messy in office politics is them says, reported speech. Right? So you really now need to be very, very conscious of your environment, very conscious of what you do. Make sure you know your onions. You're not an hypocrite. You do your job, like Coach Abel said. And then if you are a leader and this office politics between you and another leader, I want to encourage you to please lead with integrity. At all times, I keep telling my fellow HRs that we are going to pay good HR forward. We are going to pay good policies forward, policies centered around the fruit of the spirit. So, as a leader, make sure that people under you, your subordinates, your -1, you don't pass down whatever politics that is at play on your own level to them. How do you survive in this highly politicized environment in your office? Focus on your job. Remember I said in the beginning, you're not there to make friends. You're there to work. Focus on your job. Focus on excellence. Let your work speak quality. The problem that we have right now in the office spaces, we have so many lazy employees. When you are lazy, people that should not even talk to you anyhow will talk to you. Because you're not delivering quality job. Because your work would have to pass through so many levels of cross-checking. Right? Now, another way or another thing that you can do, to not be on the opposition party or to not be on the losing side while playing office politics is that you stay transparent. Stay transparent. Don't be too shady on the job. Yes, I know that as HRs, we try to advise employees, see, always cover your tracks. Cover your tracks. Cover your tracks at all times. But at the same time, while you are covering your tracks, stay transparent in the business. How can you play this game? By framing your disagreements constructively. You would so frame your disagreement that the person would have gotten to his or her office before he or she would be like, Lanka didn't agree with what we said in the meeting. See, it's not by shouting. It's not by shouting. Intelligently put forward your disagreements. Intelligently put forward your thoughts. One thing I have learned in this line of business is never to undermine anyone. Don't undermine anybody. Don't invalidate people's feelings. I think I'll just stop here so that we can go ahead for the panel. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Can we give our hands? It's not a church, but can we clap our hands together for Mrs. Adelanke? That was such a very, there's something you mentioned about blocking staff or blocking some colleagues from viewing stuff. I must tell you for a fact, I do that. Except I've seen and established a good relationship with a colleague, and I know that they are matured enough to separate my personal life from work. There's no need for you to see what I post on my WhatsApp status. That's my friends and family or church members. I must be very honest with you. It's very, like I said, don't share too much information. Don't share too much information. People will use the information they have against you or for you. Thank you very much, man. Now, we have just 20 minutes left. If you have questions for Mr. Adelanke and Mr. Abel, I would like you to raise your hand. Because of time, I will unmute and ask the question. All right, so Mr. Abel is unable to turn on the video because of where he's at the moment, but they are very much available on the call. Just raise your hand. I will unmute you because I don't want to wait. I don't want to. Okay, Mr. Abel's camera is on now. Our two speakers have their camera on, so you can see them when they're answering you. Let me stop sharing my screen so that you can see their faces. Let me stop sharing my screen. So now you would raise your hand. So I have Insikak, I have Glory, I have Lekon. So I will take Insikak first. You ask your questions, and then I would address it to any of our speakers. Insikak, you have been unmuted. You have the floor. You can speak. And then Enoch. So we have 4 people.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to the speakers. It's been an insightful session. So my question is regarding WhatsApp as a channel of communication. Considering that I work in an agency where when we onboard a client, and although we use emails, we have WhatsApp groups. It's a norm that you'd have WhatsApp groups where your bosses are on the groups, the bosses of the other brand parties are on the groups as well, and everybody that's working on that project is on that group. And so beyond just using emails, some of the conversations are on those WhatsApp groups, and sometimes clients reference these conversations in meetings. So how then do you balance that with the fact that WhatsApp, I think the 2 speakers mentioned that WhatsApp should not be a channel for communication, like in that sense. So just an explanation to how to deal with that. Thank you very much.
Okay. I will direct that question to. I want our speakers to confirm. Do you want us to take all the questions and then answer, or one by one? Because we have three more questions to answer.
I think we should just do it one after the other.
Okay. So the first question will be directed to you, Ma, and the next one will be to Mr. Abel.
Okay. All right. Can I speak now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Insikak, are you the HR of your company?
No. She's Insikak. Can you stay on mute? Let me just raise your hand so I can unmute you. Okay. You can speak now.
So no, I'm not the HR of my company. I'm a client service lead, and then I'm also a copywriter.
Okay. Is it possible for you to suggest to your HR that the company looks for other means? I mean, there are other means aside from WhatsApp But then again, on second thoughts, if WhatsApp is like the official communication line for your business, it's fine. What I mean by you not engaging WhatsApp, I'm talking about you and your colleagues.
Okay.
You and your colleagues, okay? But if WhatsApp is what your company uses as their official communication, social communication platform for business, let's just state that way, for business. If it is possible for you to have a conversation with your management via your HR to say, see, there are other ways to do these things. I mean, there is HubSpot, there is Slack, there is Microsoft, there is Teams. Teams is right now really very perfect. I mean, you can create as many groups as you want on your Teams rather than use WhatsApp. So that's what I think, all right? But if your management is not the approachable kind, and you can't really talk, or you can't really suggest, let's leave it at that for the professional side of it. I mean that for the sake of communicating with your the people that you are your clients. I don't know, I can't remember who you said you were using the WhatsApp for, but you mentioned something about the clients and all of that. For that sake, if you are dealing internal communications between you and your colleague, please use the mail. I remember I just hired a new a new job, or should I say a new, yeah, and they use this WhatsApp thing. I didn't say anything. First day at work, I realized that people were chatting me on WhatsApp, and there's Teams. When they chat me on WhatsApp, I'll go and reply them on Teams. Now they don't even chat me on WhatsApp again. They already know. I didn't need to say, don't chat me on WhatsApp. I just it's office politics. Because I mean, I just came in newly. Someone that just came in newly, they now put me above so many people. 90% Nigerians. And you know how Nigerians can be. Apologies, I'm also a Nigerian. So I didn't want any wahala for myself. You chat me on WhatsApp, I reply you on Teams. If you come back to me on WhatsApp, say you have not responded, I will reply you on that WhatsApp. Please check Teams. I've responded on Teams. After like 3 days, people start chatting me on WhatsApp. So I hope I have been able to answer your question.
All right, thank you very much, Ma. We will take Lekon next. Lekon next. Lekon, you have the floor. Please speak.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, sir. And thank you very much, ma, for that. And my question actually would go to the two speakers because I have like 3 questions here. So I'll just quickly summarize it together.
You will pay. Oh.
I'm so sorry, sir. Yeah, first about the WhatsApp office line, which Mrs. Lanke talked about the WhatsApp office line when you block some of your colleagues and the likes like that. But the office line that connects everybody, you have a line that everybody is connected. You can't block the office line too, or would you advise we block office line that everybody have access to and they can still see your status that way too from the office line? So how do you
What are you
handle?
posting on the office line? Why should you even post on the office line in the first place? The only thing
No,
that you
no,
should post on your office line should be about the business.
no. I mean, the general office line that you can't. For example, now I can't block the general office line because they will want to ask, maybe they want to see some things or so. So if I post on my own personal line, you can easily view it on office line. Do you get my question, ma?
Because you saved the office line as your contact.
No, not my contact. Office is
Okay,
just the office.
make us understand, except if Mr. Abel understands what you are saying.
Okay,
No, let
what
him finish. I want him to finish.
Okay,
Okay.
what I'm trying to say is we have a general office line that everybody is connected to. So I have the line saved on my home personal WhatsApp. So if I upload a status, you can easily, if you go to the office line, that general office line, you can see Lekon share status on that office line there. So how do you manage that? Is it that I'm going to block the office line too when it comes to that aspect too?
All right. The first thing
And
is it. Okay. Continue.
yeah, my second question is to Mr. Abel, talking about dealing with very difficult and toxic colleagues like that. Now, based on the nature of the work where you have sales team and you work together, everybody makes their own sales, and along the way, one or two people would need someone to help in maybe onboarding and the likes like that. So along the way, where you begin to have difficult and toxic people in the team that way, how do you manage them in sense that they always want to be seen and they can do anything to any extent of trying to make sure they are the ones to be seen when it comes to, okay, I make sales this month, I did this, I did that, and you two, you're always trying to put your own thing outside there, and they go to the extent of manipulating the CRM behind you and do all manner of things. So how do you handle such people when it comes to things like that, sir?
All right. Thank you very much for those questions. I think let me start from your previous question, which is first thing is this. Organization has what the office line, they call it the CUG line, right? And majorly CUGs is majorly for calls. So I'm wondering, number one, I want to ask, is it that as part of the organization policy that your office line should also be used for your WhatsApp line? Or I understand you're a salesperson, or is it that some clients they rather send you some information via WhatsApp through your office line? And if they are doing that, why then do you still need to post using your office line? I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Yes, I get what you're trying to say,
Is it
sir.
an organization policy?
Definitely, yes, sir. Because we all have
No, are you
dedicated.
saying based on what head knowledge, or it's written in your, your employee handbook that you must do that? Is there a way that it was categorically stated?
No.
So then, for you to be able to, I understand what you're saying, yes, but for you to be able to manage all of these exigencies, you cannot use an official line. So even your official line is not a WhatsApp line. Majorly, official line is majorly for calling, maybe especially those that work, those that do with call center agent. Now let me tell you, the banks, the fintechs, several organizations they work 24/7. They have a rotation that they do. Some person work morning while some afternoon. All they do is to report call logs, and call logs might come in form of complaints or enquiries. Now, after receiving all of those call logs, they don't go ahead, or maybe when you complain to your bank, when you call your bank customer care, do they come back to tell you that, okay, send us this message on WhatsApp? Now, I understand there are AI, there are chats, robot, chatbots, and all of this robot thing that they use on WhatsApp now. Some banks and some organizations are using it that whereby you send your complaint, then a robot responds to you. But basically, do you get responses when a customer care person, like when you complain about a failed transaction, or you have some kind of you report some kind of actions? Do you get responses via WhatsApp? The only response, the only feedback you get is that you get what we call an identification number, or a query number, whereby you get an email to that effect as a follow-up to the call that you made. That yes, we acknowledge that you called us at so time. There's always a timestamp on the time you call and the date. So that's why I asked that question, that is it part of your organization work, maybe work policy? Because for work ethics purpose, documentation purpose, we as HR practitioners, we do not encourage documentation via WhatsApp. It's not encouraged. Yes, I understand as a salesman, you need to go out of your way to make sales. Even if you do that, there should be documentation. There should be a referral. Like when you're writing reports or when you want to send mail, like mail refers, like subject to the mail, subject to our conversation over the phone, you need to document it. So your business, irrespective of any conversation you're having with your clientele over the phone, see, the office line, CEG line, I work in a sales organization. Most times it's for call. It's not for posting on your WhatsApp status. Basically, it's for you to follow up your clients. It's for you to follow up easily to maybe there's some clients that are not local clients, they're international clients. You might need to call them via WhatsApp call. But not for that's why I asked the question if that is that your organization mandates you. But from the response, it doesn't look like that.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if you are satisfied with that, or you want us to, probe it further.
We can follow through after. Let's answer the other question he asked, and then give room to the other speakers.
All right. Then your second question as regarding please can you just paraphrase? I think I just lost the gaps of that.
How do you deal with a very toxic colleagues?
I think it's fine now. You talking about difficult colleagues and all. See, in sales organization, the truth is everybody wants to eat their sales target. I will do anything to eat my sales target. When I mean I will do anything, I'm not saying I'm going to do the wrong things, but I'm going to work harder. I'm going to, be persistent. I'm going to be consistent in my, in trying to get deals for my organization to improve my own, in terms of to improve my own sales performance. Now, in some situation whereby you are so flooded, you are so busy, whereby you're attending to a particular client, and that client calls you and says, "Oh, look, I have an issue. Can you help me look into this?" And whereas you're not done, now you now assign that client to your colleague. See, we are in a very, very competitive world. Don't be surprised. The colleague that you referred or that you said should help you to undo that matter and that issue might win your client or woo your client to his or herself. That's the danger there. But how are you able to deal with that? I think the best way to deal with that is to let that client, you want to log in, especially CRM, HubSpot, Sales Ruby, the likes of Zoho, and I know that you need to log, is to try to liaise with the client and hello sir, could you please give me 30 minutes? Can I call you back in a few minutes time? I need to you're currently working on certain thing, or you're currently responding to a client at the moment. As soon as you are done, you will reach out to him or her if he or she can wait. That's the best way, because oftentimes, no matter the level of trust, see, sales guys are very, 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 they are the most dangerous people as far as office is concerned. Ms. Nage, you can bear me witness. Or is she still on this call?
100%. Oh, you're always settling conflicts.
Sales people are they are very toxic to manage. And that's why HR, we don't tend to drop the ball with salespeople at all. In terms of ROI, in terms of their benefits, this is what you're getting at per time, at per season, whatever if you sell one, this is what you're getting. It's very clear to avoid issues. And that's why if you are having to assign some of your tasks to your colleagues. I would advise you, if you're not able to manage so many things at a time, if you know you're still working on your time management skills, you're still working on your organizational skills, it is better if it is 2 clients you have, manage them well and manage them efficiently, other than assigning them to your colleagues. It is no less advisable. I know in some instance whereby maybe you are sick or an emergency arise, if that thing can wait, let it wait. Something happened at my office whereby I think someone gave another person his or her ID to just handle a particular issue. And after the person, yes, he handled the issue. You know what? She used that ID to do what? To do some dangerous things, which later backfired on the principal owner. So you need to be careful. I think I'll take a pause on that. Next question, please. Sorry, was I able to answer your question, or I don't know?
Okay, because of time, let's quickly answer Gloria and Enoch. So, Gloria, the floor is yours. Quickly ask your question.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma. So, thank you so much for the teaching so far. My question is concerning the blocking of colleagues on WhatsApp. I'll use myself as an example. I do a lot of things aside office work, like running of ads and all of that. And I know that I've gotten clients from my office. So what do I do in that kind of situation? I do other things aside office work. So do I now block my colleagues from seeing my WhatsApp status when they actually patronize me? I don't know if you got the question, sir.
Sorry, is that question for me?
I would like Mr. Lanke to answer that question.
Okay.
Mr. Lanke, please. The question is for you.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
yes,
please.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so I'm trying to switch device. All right, sorry, PACN has happened to us. Yeah, in the first place, see that this is one of or these are the issues. I don't pray you have issues, right? But at the end of the day, it might not end well. That's the truth. Well, you started this, you already have them as your customers. I would advise you that you block them and open a business line. Let them know that, oh, this is my business line.
Yeah, personal.
If your office policy is not against you having your business, there are some policies that they don't want you to do any other business. The only business that you should do and can do is their business. While there are some that there is a caveat to say, okay, you can do any other business, but not the business not their own line of business.
Yeah, you're right.
There are some policies like that. So honestly, my dear sister, get another phone or open business WhatsApp on that your phone. Move them to your business WhatsApp. Honestly, how I wish that you didn't even get them to be your customers in the first place. Honestly, see, the office place is not a joke. It's not a joke, because I can promise you that something will happen one day and then they will tell you are focusing on your business, you're always posting your business. That's when you're not delivering your job.
Or you use the company money to run your business.
Yeah, especially when maybe you're in the Envoy. Are you an Envoy member? Oil of Favor just enter your life. They will not know that it is Oil of Favor that is working. They will think it's their company's money that is working. They think it's the salary that they are paying you that is not even enough to fund your lifestyle that is working. So these things don't end well, honestly. Why? Now you can, for example, if your customer is an outsider, you can your refund policy can be solid. But your customer is your colleague at work sitting across you, and you're not selling wig. Then one will now go and use oil instead of using mousse on the wig and return it. You will not say you don't want it back. Wahala will share in the office. All these things, it doesn't always end well, honestly. It doesn't always end well. I know that business people will come, business gurus will come and say your first customers are your family members, your first customers are your business, are your colleagues at work. Coming from HR people, it's a lie, oh. It's just all that glitters. That's just it. It is just glittering. That is not the real good. That is not the real good. I would advise, again, open WhatsApp business on your phone, move them to WhatsApp business. If you happen to move to a new organization, please don't involve your colleagues to be your customers. It doesn't always end well. It doesn't always end well. Or don't let me generalize. 90% of the time, it doesn't end well. It doesn't end well. I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much for answering that question. Enoch, over to you. This is the last question for tonight, so that we can call it wraps.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Coach Abel. Thank you, Miss Lanke. The session was very, very impactful. So I think mine is not just a question, an appreciation, and just to iterate a point that it's deep. Miss Lanke was mentioning about office politics. The first place I heard that, it was boardroom politics that I heard from my Prof. Alawi Dauda. It was lecturing corporate governance. So we had an executive class. Then he was talking about boardroom politics, and he said there is politics in the boardroom, and you can't be caught, unparticipative. You need to participate in the politics and use it to your advantage. So she's saying that tonight, the office politics made me to remember that, and of course, I have to be prepared, not to be caught unaware. So thank you very much, Ms. Lanke. Thank you very much, Coach Abel. And one remark from Coach Abel too, he said you should focus on delivering your KPI before you welcome favors. So if you're far off targets, you don't ascertain favors. So thank you very much. It's a very lovely time. And thank you, Pastor Yomi, for organizing this program. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Enoch, for that feedback. Like I said earlier on, I knew that this session was going to be a blast. I had to remind Mrs. Adelake in service, ma, please don't forget today. Can we celebrate if we were to give them money, maybe 100K for the time, but this is their investment. So in case if you have your business organization, you can call any one of us to come and facilitate a session. So Abel, you can send a DM to me to get their contact, and I will surely send it to you. Can we celebrate Mr. Abel and Mrs. Adelanke for sacrificing their time and pouring out of their wealth of experience and knowledge to help us? Can we celebrate them, celebrate them, celebrate them? Clap, clap, clap. This is one of the most interactive sessions we've had so far in the wisdom class. In the wisdom class. Whether you're a member of the Envoys or not, I'm sure that you have been blessed. You have been blessed. You have been blessed. You have been blessed. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Ma, for the sacrifice. Monday is a very busy day. Some of us got home 6, some 7, and we're still off for another 2 hours. It's a sacrifice. This is what makes champion become champions. It will be very beneficial for you to put these words that have been said, topics discussed, ideas shared, direction given into action so that you can see the results. God bless you. Sama, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Really appreciate. God bless you. On this note, I would like to say good night. God bless everyone who joined the call. I believe that you did not live here without knowledge. Please do well to write and read what you've learned from this session and put it into practice. For myself and Zion, she's been on the call with me. I'm sure some of you may have heard her voice. I want to say good night. God bless you. See you next week, Monday. Good night, sir. Good night, ma. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Ayegba, well done.
Good night, everyone.